risky behavior.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. This is Risky Behavior. How are y'all doing? I'm back with another Kendra G Singles Live reaction. If you are tuning in and you see the title, it says, This Black Woman is Ambitious, No Broke Man, and she got 3 jobs. How many jobs does a woman need? Is ambition the work that you do? Or how many jobs you have. Can you be ambitious and just have one job? If anybody just coming into the building, please hit the like button as you come in. And if you're seeing me twice tonight, that's because I just went live with the same video, but I started having technical difficulties, so I had to end it and start all over again and reconnect the internet. Boom. Okay, so anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be showing this a woman that came on a Kendra G's show, and she's just talking about how ambitious she is, and she has 3 jobs, and she's just talking about her idea about what it means to be ambitious and what type of man that she wants to date. I think that what made this video stand out to me and what made it so funny is that this woman says she has 3 jobs, and the 3 jobs that she has to me just don't line up. And I know people probably like, "Oh, what do you always do the Kendra G show?" I do the Kendra G show is because to me it's organic. You have people calling in to find somebody to date, find somebody to be with. When I be watching those reality shows or other podcasts, to me, it's just not really, it's not realistic to me. And hold on, y'all. I'm getting the video up. To me, a lot of those other shows are not realistic. To me, the Kendra G show, I think the conversations are very organic. And being the fact that more women call in than men, and when women talk to Kendra G because of who she is, I feel like they divulge more information than they would if they were anywhere else. Share. Cool. All right. And I got it. So without any further ado, I'm play this video. I don't want to run my mouth too much. But anyway, this video is about a woman. She wants a guy to make at least 200K. She says she's ambitious. She wants a man that's ambitious. She got 3 jobs herself. Cool. She was even dating a dude that was a doctor, and she broke up with him because he wasn't ambitious enough for her. So
in this car.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
You got a flashlight or something?
Yes, I do.
I want to say, you is the best light I ever seen in a car, girl. Is your name Alexis?
Yes.
Okay. Alexis, where you calling us from?
Washington, D.C.
DC. I had so much fun in DC, child. How old are you, Alexis?
28.
28. What you do for a living?
I have 3 jobs. So my main job is I'm a cloud professional.
A
I
what?
also a cloud professional. So I'm in tech.
Okay.
I also work as a waitress, and I also own my own apartment building. So I own multiple Airbnbs.
You own and what else? You said you own Wendy's too?
I own my own apartment building.
Okay.
Kendra G said Wendy's.
And you waitress. So 3 jobs. You work in tech. You say you do cloud what?
I'm a cloud engineer.
Engineer. Okay. Okay. Alexis DC 28. You have any?
All right, see, there you go. So she's saying she got 3 jobs or whatever. She's ambitious, and right now to me, it sounded funny. And I think it was the waitressing part that stood out to me, right? Because if you're in tech, right, everybody goes on and brags about how they're in tech, and that's the best thing to be in these days is in tech. Cool. Then she says, well, oh, and I own my own apartment building. All right, cool. But then she says she's a waitress as well. I don't know why you would be in tech and have your own apartment building, owning multiple Airbnbs, and then you want to be a waitress. It sounded weird to me. And this is the part I was trying to first time I went live, I was trying to do the comments, but I couldn't get to them. So anyway, I got them up because I thought I was tripping. But then I went to the comments. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not tripping because other people feel the way that I feel. Where is it at? Okay, this guy right here. So you got a guy right here. He says, I'm an astronaut, theoretical physicist, and clean toilets on the side. And that's exactly what I was thinking. And like everybody's under here. Look, somebody says, I'm a judge, an Uber driver, and I own a chain of Chick-fil-A's. Right? Because I'm like, those, it's kind of like you're trying to start off like you're so ambitious, you're doing your thing. She's gonna go in, she wants an ambitious guy, she don't want no broke dude, but it's like it's kind of like you're putting on. Here goes somebody else. Jay Baldwin, 3012 says, why be a waitress if you work in tech? For those who don't understand my question, there are many tech jobs that can be stacked. So you can actually have multiple six-figure tech jobs that all pay more than waitressing. It's like saying you're a lawyer with one client and you also wash cars on the side. It's silly, it doesn't make sense. It is weird, right? So anywho, I just wanted to show that and I'm about to keep on playing the video because I'm like, it's weird what she said. It's kind of like you putting on, she probably is in tech, but I heard that you have little jobs, like you might work at a company and people might call you in to reset. But she says she works for the cloud. So somebody might call you and ask you to reset their computer or something like that. But a person that's trying to put on when they're doing an interview might just go, oh, yeah, I work in tech. Right. Or then somebody, she might be a part of some pyramid scheme and say, oh, I own multiple Airbnbs. Right. Because that just doesn't make sense that you work in tech, you own an apartment building. That's not no small thing. That's pretty impressive if you own an apartment building. And then say, and I waitress on the side. It's kind of weird.
Kids?
Nope.
No kids. What's your zodiac sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. You ever been married?
Nope.
Okay, never married. Let's do it. We got Alexis, DC, 28, no kids. She has 3 jobs, cloud engineer. She's a waitress, also owns her own apartment building. What kind of man you looking for? She's a Capricorn too. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I want a man that's a provider. I want a traditional man in a sense. So I want a man that pays the bills. I want a man that leads the household. If we're moving. I just want a man's man. I also want somebody who likes to travel. I travel a lot, maybe 10 international countries a year. You don't have to travel as much, but just have an interest in traveling. I also want a man that's extremely honest. I mean, I feel like some people tell little white lies because they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever the case may be. I'm very blunt. And I think I would want that kind of partner in return, someone who can be as transparent with me as I am with them. And I guess lastly, somebody romantic. I have not really had really as much luck finding people who like to please. So I would like to find someone that's similar to what I can provide to somebody else.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Broke. Uh,
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty I'm pretty open. I know you can't have it all. So I don't care if you're that tall, as long as you 5'5", 5'6" or taller. I don't care if you're fat, skinny, short. You can't have it all. Looks, I'm willing to settle on. I cannot settle on what you bring to the table financially, and I cannot settle on too many kids. I can't do more than 2, and your kids cannot be under 10. Um oh, and then anyone that's not ambitious. Like
I will say this though. I can give her some kudos for that, some points for that, because at least she's willing to compromise on certain areas and she knows that hey, you can't have it all. So I can say that's a good thing that she said that.
recently I matched with a doctor on a dating app, and I was just like, I said, what do you do? He's like, I'm a doctor. And he was just like, I was like, okay, so what's your goals? He he was just like, "Oh no, I kind of blocked you because like, what do you mean? What's my goals? Is a doctor not enough? I don't want somebody who's content with where they are. A doctor is being a doctor is amazing. I understand what you guys go through to get there, but why can't you want more? I guess
And there goes the BS. Right when she get points, right? I think that the man said it takes a lot of discipline, structure, hard work to become a doctor. When somebody sets the goal to become a doctor is something you continuously learn, you continuously grow in that field. So to say kind of like what's your goal? I mean, what to become a better doctor? You don't just you see what I'm saying? It's kind of that's a weird question, and that's a weird thing to say, oh, well, you're not ambitious, you're content being a doctor. What are you talking about? When you become a doctor, it's you want to save lives, you want to be there for people. What do you mean? That's your goal. That's what you want to do. That's something you do for a lifetime. You don't become a doctor and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to move on to something else." That's weird to say that. Oh, you're not ambitious because you don't want to be anything other than a doctor. What are you talking about? This is a lifetime thing that you do over a lifetime. You got people being doctors 20, 30 years of their life. They dedicate their lives. A doctor is something you dedicate your life to doing, your life to being. You don't become a doctor and then say, okay, what's next? I want to do something else.
me having 3 jobs shows you that I'm never comfortable with being in one place.
Child, not being a he need to run for the president. He's already a surgeon, and that ain't enough for you.
It's not a money thing more, so I guess it's an ambition thing. Yeah.
Well, let's start a couple things. I mean, I cracked up when you said broke. I don't know, the way you said it was just funny. What is broke to you?
uh Broke to me is living check to check. I try to live it where 10% of my income is spent on expenses and bills. If you out here, 70% of your income goes towards your expenses, you're not somebody I want to talk to because you're living way beyond your means. I don't care if you're cheap. I don't care if you like, you know what, we can't go out this weekend because I need to save up some money. I need somebody that's fiscally responsible. Broke is broke. Like, you can't afford your car note. I had a guy's car get repo from my house. No, I don't deal with those kind of people. Broke is broke.
Is there a dollar amount to broke for you?
Ideally, I want somebody that makes more than me, so at least 200 or more.
Okay. So 100K to you would be not enough.
No. Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So 200K or more. Ooh, child. Okay. So we got there early. Should he look a certain way?
No, I told you, physically, I don't really care. It looks fade. So, in 20, 30, 40 years, you're not gonna look the way you did when I met you. So why do I care if you Denzel Washington? I'm okay. As long as you don't have too many tattoos on your face, we all good to go.
Okay. We gotta do the Kendrick cam. I know you in the car, but we gotta do the Kendrick cam.
All right, hold on. 'Cause
I just want to point out too, I hate when they makeup be so like they face be so different from their neck and the rest of their body. I don't know why it stands out to me. It's something that somebody mentioned to me before, and now I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee it. Let me see. Yo, what's up? Shout out the Truth Session. You said she don't represent all women. Yeah, I know that. I do not think so. Uh, no, she does not.
Oh, it's dark. I feel like you have a nice shade.
Okay, so that's why people in the comment was talking about the BBL. I don't like the BBL look. It look good on some people, don't look good on everybody. But I don't know. Is that the BBL look? I don't if somebody don't say that's what they got and you can't prove it, I don't put it on them. But it does look like the BBL look. When we was in the comments, earlier, that's what people were talking about. They was talking about her shape, and like a lot of people just sick of the look. It just looks weird.
Okay, but it's dark. It's hard to see you.
The true session, the crying, so that is a BBL, right? It looks bad. I don't her body, it don't look good. But it goes along with her attitude, the whole no broke, I'm ambitious, I'm making money, I need a man, make 200K. It's like a starter kit at this point. The body goes along with the whole bourgeois, bougie, I need a man that make this, type of attitude, no broke man allowed. So I wouldn't be surprised. It looked like a BBL though.
Ooh. I can't hear you, baby.
She's trying to
We
make
can't
sure
hear
they
you,
see the
boo.
body.
Ooh, she wants us to see this body.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah, you was walking, and then
Yeah.
okay, what you got home?
No, I'm at work.
You got. Oh, you were going to work.
Yes.
All right, all right. Let's do it. Now the last question I asked you, we did the Kendrick Kim.
Yes.
Okay, so after the Kendrick Kim, okay, when was your last relationship?
11
Wait,
years
you
ago.
under the Kendrick Kim now with some light?
Yeah, besides the trollers and the internet. Hold on. Can you do me a favor? Can you hold the phone real quick?
Okay, we see you. All right. If you just tuning in, this is Alexis DC, 28, Capricorn, no kids. A mom, yeah. You mom to 3?
No, I have no children.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong person. What's your name again?
Alexis.
Yeah, I have you right.
No, she got 3
3
jobs.
jobs. I'm sorry.
jobs.
Here we go. All
Kendra
right,
silly.
I said 3 moms to 3. It's 3 jobs. All right, if you just tuned in, here we go. We have Alexis DC, 28, Capricorn. She has no kids, has 3 jobs, cloud engineer, a waitress, owns her own apartment building. You said correct? Or
Yes, that's correct.
No broke men. She made that clear. 200K is the preference. 100K is not enough.
Nope.
Okay. Now, when was your last relationship, Alexis?
11 years ago.
You've been single for 11 years?
You know how people go relationship to relationship to relationship? I kind of feel like that's what dating should be for. Like when I meet people and they be like, well, why are you and your ex break up? Well, it just didn't work out.
Be 11. If you go relationship to relationship, that means the last one wouldn't have been 11 years.
No. I'm speaking on other people, what they did.
Okay.
This is why I don't do it. I think dating should be the time when you're getting to know somebody. You're trying to figure out the red flags. If you're willing to accept those red flags, if you're willing to accept every part of them. When I get in the next relationship, I want it to be somebody I'm willing to marry. And I don't see why that needs to be rushed. So.
Okay, I have a question. In those 11 years, are you having sex?
Yes, I've dated people exclusively. I just haven't gotten to the point where I wanted to make them my boyfriend.
Okay, so dating exclusively means neither one of you guys date other people.
Correct.
So help me understand. Maybe I'm ignorant. Why
that's
would
a
that
relationship.
not be a relationship if you're both just seeing each other?
I can still text other people. I just choose not. I can still go on a date with other people. I just choose not to. And sometimes depends on who I'm dating. Some people I'll still date other people. Go out for a few dates. I'm just not actively sleeping with anyone else because I prefer to sleep with one person at a time. Okay. So I guess that's the difference. I don't answer to anybody.
Okay.
If I want to meet somebody, get their number, I can. I'm still single.
Okay. And
you can too.
Okay. So my assumption is, because I know you have a high salary request, do all these men meet your 200K requirement?
Yes. Okay. It's pretty normal though in DC. DC incomes are higher, and I'm in tech, so everyone in my field pretty much makes at least 150 or higher.
This is true. Now I want to ask this question. But you also said that these dating experiences never grew to a committed relationship? Why not?
I think because I feel like the dating pool has a little bit of pee in it, and I feel like sometimes people like to ignore red flags, and I've ignored a few. I'll get with somebody and sexually it's not cutting it for me, and I'll keep dating them knowing I wouldn't marry this person, or it'll be something where I've dated people who were financially not on the same page as me, trying to help them. So I've helped them get new jobs, I'll do resumes, help them do interviews, and then I realized that some people just aren't meant to make a lot of money. I help them get these jobs, and then all of a sudden they start acting funny. I I just feel like you have to be aligned. And I haven't really felt anybody that was I haven't really met anyone that I was on the same page with. But I'm patient. So I've just been traveling and doing me. I'm not hurt. But I guess that's the reason why it's so easy for me to do the non-committed thing. Because I would be a little bit more offended if these are my boyfriends. These are not my boyfriends. They are people I enjoy for the season, and I'm moving on.
Now, let me ask you this, because there's some women who enjoy dating the way you date, don't necessarily really have a goal of marriage or a committed relationship with one person. Do you feel as though is that your goal? Like, do you want to be married? I mean, it's not a bad thing if you don't, but I'm just curious because it seems like you rather just continue to date instead of locking in with one person.
No, I would like to lock in one person. I just don't want to settle. I'm not gonna like I've met amazing men who just didn't meet my income requirements. I got too many goals I have for myself to be with somebody that I have to build up, or who just comfortable being where they are. I want something serious, but I don't want to settle. Like,
So settling to you is being in a committed relationship with a man that makes less than 200K?
settling for me is being with somebody that put their hands on you, being someone that lies to you, being someone who has too many kids, being with anybody who isn't on the same page as you. And that's just not for me. That's for men too. I'm not asking you to settle. Like, I've had men not be interested because I wear makeup or I wear wigs. Everybody has their own preference. Settling for me is just not, you're not meeting my non-negotiables. You're not doing what your career isn't where it needs to be, or you got too many kids, or you lie too much, or you don't want.
Hmm. I struggle to believe what comes out of their mouths because I would think 11 years you should have found somebody. 11 years, that's a long time to it's almost like, will this person ever be satisfied? Because you had a doctor, right? And you say, well, you're not ambitious, you're a doctor. You don't want to do anything else. The doctor, that's your end goal. And it's kind of that was weird because like a doctor, that's a lifetime job. That's something that a person dedicates their life to. And so it's almost like any guy she gets, she's going to find some reason to say that if she stays with this person, in her mind, she feels like she's settling, you know. And it kind of go back to what Kevin Samuel said before. It's kind of like because of women how they operate, and I understand, I get it. You know, you shouldn't want to be with somebody that's not financially stable, and I get that. But it's kind of like, should you work your way up? Because if you work your way up too high and you make yourself way up here, you're kind of then doing damage to yourself because you're like, why is there nobody else up here with me? But it's kind of like you worked yourself up too far, and so it's kind of like you're hurting yourself. And then you complain and say nobody's up there with you. Nobody told you to go that high. What's up, Dig Thug? You said this is why the black race is still going to be 13% after the next 30 years. This has been determined by data by that way. I believe so. I believe so. Um, it's definitely going to be that. We should have grown um been past where we are now, but we're still at 13%. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it's we can't make our relationships work. We're not getting together and having children like we used to anymore. And it's this whole new settle culture. People feel like it's settling to be with somebody. Like for her to come out her mouth and say, I've met amazing men, but they just don't meet my income requirement. But he's an amazing guy. Just don't meet her income requirement. which is why go through all that? This is the part I don't get. Why, if you're a woman and you don't plan on paying any bills and you want the man to pay all the bills, why even waste your time making all the money? Because you don't want to use it. Why do that? It's only a problem because you want to work yourself to the top, be the top dog, make all this money, make more money than everybody else. Why? Why? You don't want to take care of nothing. You don't want to pay none of the bills. You want to be taken care of. You want to be treated like a princess. So why put yourself in the position of being the top dog if that ain't it's just weird to me.
Want to travel. The last guy I dated long term didn't want to travel internationally at all. Vacation to him is like going to Florida. And I like to go around the world. I don't think there's nothing wrong with wanting somebody who wants to travel too. It's small things. And those small things usually is what it
That's
disconnects.
not okay. Hold on, let me jump in. These are not small things. I think this is where it's not a small thing, honey. And also, I'm not God. I'm gonna start off before I start. Let me say I'm not God. So I can never say absolute anything. But you do have to understand the man that you're describing is a 1% man that can make the salary requirement, could afford to travel around this world, could give you great sex. I think you had a kid requirement.
No more than 2 children.
Okay, you did now. You don't have an attraction requirement. So that's a grace area. So he can have the income and not the money, but he still got to have good sex. So I'm gonna assume that whatever. We'll leave it there.
I can settle on that too. I'm be honest. In today's generation, I can settle with that.
On the sex.
I can settle with that too.
Okay, so you're willing to settle in that area. So really for you, so now let's just go to the commitment. So you just want this man that makes this requirement to be exclusively committed to you as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And someone thoughtful, someone caring.
Shout out, Kai. You said no, no. What's that mean? Shout out to you. Oh, I paused it to say if you hear like a little bit of fuzzy stuff in the mic, that's on Kendra's end. I don't know if the girl is moving around or something, but that's why it's making that weird noise.
Okay. And although you've dated these men, you just never been in a committed relationship with one.
Correct.
So just hypothetical. Let's just say your experience will always just be dating. Like you get these men who meet your wonderful requirements that you can date for a period of time. And then after a while, you learn for whatever reason it's not going to grow to the committed relationship. And then you go on to the next man that meets all those requirements. Are you fine with that, or does having a husband and having a family, is that important to you?
Having a family is important to me. So ideally, that's why I'm pretty focused. I don't really waste my time on people that I feel like it won't be long term. I'm quick to cut somebody off because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. So I know what I want. So I won't even let it get to the first date if we're not on the same page. I don't need to waste your money, waste your time.
Right.
That's how
I think women because you say you date these men, so I'm gonna put you in this category. Women who get to date men who make high salaries, it's like a gift and a curse because, like, I'll give an example. I met this young lady. I mean, gorgeous. She was freaking gorgeous. And when I was in Atlanta at iFest, there was a private dinner, and she was talking to me. She's like, I want to be in a relationship. She was 26. I mean, she was drop dead gorgeous. And she was saying she was currently dating a guy in France, and he flies her to France once a month. And I'm like, girlfriend, it is going to be so hard for a regular guy to date you because you're used to people flying you to France once a month. That's going to be crazy for a guy to say, I'm going to take you out to dinner. You're like, where? And
I will say, I don't compare men to other men, just the same way I don't want to be compared to other women. I think it's unfair and nobody can ever close that gap.
Do you compare? But I'm talking about experience, not necessarily the men. So can you still be wowed by the experience? Because if you have this major experience from this man, it might not be the man, but if this man was able to give you a certain amount of experience, now it was dating, wasn't necessarily a relationship. Would it be settling for you for a man that can offer you the relationship, but maybe financially can't do the things that the guy that had the money could. Would that be settling to you?
No. I kind of, I come from humble beginnings. So if I met a man who was clear at 200,000, no extra, no, he can't go internationally as much as I do, then I will compromise. I think that's my biggest, I guess, positive, that I'm willing to compromise. If I need to move, if we can't go on a date this week because he needs to save or he needs to work, I'm willing to adjust. I feel
But she literally just said before this that she left another dude alone because he did not have a desire to travel internationally, right? So, but what would be the difference in the desire? Isn't there to travel internationally versus someone that can't travel internationally? Now she's trying to backpedal and say, well, no, I would compromise there. No, you wouldn't, because you had a dude. He was a good guy, you said, but he didn't want to travel internationally. You said he only wanted to go to Florida.
like in today's dating world, when there are beautiful women everywhere, I don't compare myself to other people because you can't. Just like there are many attractive women, a lot of women built like me. So I try to just adjust and go with the flow. I just need a man that's willing to communicate and let me know when I need to make adjustments.
Okay, fair enough. So you have some paid questions before I get to them. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'm not going to answer.
Okay, 3 flaws you have to work on.
I could stop ignoring red flags. I could also, I could be not as ambitious, and I also could be not as outspoken as I am. I don't have a filter.
Okay. And now, do you want the paid questions before I read any?
Kendra, I have a quick question. Is there any way I can join later?
You have to go. Why is that?
I have to go for a meeting at work just for like 10 minutes, but they want me to leave like right now.
Well, I don't know how much later we're going to be on the show. Are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
I am. It's Alexis White is my name. I don't know. I think I might change it because I don't want my government name up there, but right now it's Alexis White.
Okay, I'm not sure how much longer. I got somewhere to be, child. I got like you, girl.
I'll quickly answer your questions. What's the questions?
Well, no. Well, first, I would like to give your contact just in case. Well, answer this. Why would a guy be likely to be with you?
I'm gonna skip past the money part. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna skip past the look part. It doesn't matter.
No, why would a guy be likely to be with you?
No, I'm about to answer the question. I'm trying to do better at not focusing on looks or money because it doesn't matter to a man that's a quality man. To me, I would say
I think looks matter to a quality man. I think attraction begins with everybody.
Yeah, but I think there's so many attractive women that I don't think it's really a plus anymore. It's not something to put in the win column. There are beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah, but if you want a 200 plus K man, attraction is going to be the first thing that, I mean, it won't keep him potentially. I see what you're saying, but he's going to have to be attracted to you.
Yeah, I get it. But I guess I'm very honest. I won't ever lie to them. I am a provider. So whether or not he wants me to continue to work, and my goal is to build something with my partner financially, businesses, whatever the case may be. And I guess the hugest thing is the fact that I can adjust to both worlds. I told you I come from humble beginnings, but I've also seen the other side of it. So I'm able to go to a business meeting or go to a gala or go to a cookout. I want to be able to be adjustable to whatever I need to be adjustable to. And also I compromise. That's the hugest thing. I feel like a lot of women are unwilling to change or unwilling to get feedback. I want all the feedback you can give me. If you feel like I have something to change, then tell me to change it.
Now here's someone to pay. Do you have 3 minutes?
Yeah, I have 1 minute.
So 1 minute. Okay. Divine Photo says, seems like the 6-figure man you desire see you as recreational use only.
Woo!
I haven't had a problem with meeting, having long-term relationships. The people I told you I dated, those all ended because of me. They were just missing something that I didn't want. So I don't really worry about that. And also I don't have sex like that. So Um,
The lie she tell. The lie she tell. You said you haven't been in a relationship in 11 years. You just been dating. The six-figure man don't work out for you. But of course, you give yourself all the power and all the credit. You left them. Mm-hmm. Because you're perfect.
I don't have time to be just having sex just to be having sex. I let a man know this vagina is I don't have one. Like if you are interested in having sex, please leave me alone. Because until we get to that page, and that may be 2, 3 months, 4 or 5 months, who knows, you won't get any. So I don't even entertain those type of conversations.
Okay, fair enough.
And I can do one more.
Damon Dennis said, for the fellas, this is not wifey material. This is a future robber that will take half your shit, guaranteed.
Yeah, I kind of make more than I guarantee it. I make more money than him. So how can I take half your shit when I bring my own shit to the table? I guess that's my answer there. So yeah.
All right, she has to go.
But what does it matter what you bring to the table if you said you don't want no broke man and you want the guy to have the money in the end? Even all the money you make, you still want his.
But your name on the app is Alexis White. How do you spell
Yes.
white?
Like the color.
WHIT. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay, girlfriend. Bye,
Have a good
sweetheart.
day.
Kendra G Singles, the dating app is about.
And there you have it. There you have it. You know what this makes me think, and this might be unpopular to say. This is why I am against equal opportunity. I don't think there should ever be a world where men and women should be equal. Why? Because if you make man and women equal, you still get women like the one we just saw that want the man to still be above them. When you create a world where women can outpace men, it does not work because it's not like they are, because majority of the time they're not going to be comfortable dating a guy. And I understand men sometimes are uncomfortable dating a woman that makes more than them, but that's only because of the women's attitude when a man makes less than them. And so for me personally, that's why I don't like a world where they make it equal, because I think our nature kicks in. Um Now, of course, we got 10, 20, 30 years. We would have to wait to see if that is actual nature, if it or if it is the social construct that makes us that way. But I know that currently, if you have a world where women outpace men, these women don't want they outpace the man, and then they complain that they don't want to settle because the man make less money than them. That's how it is. So I don't think I don't think it should be equal. I think it sounds messed up to say. I just don't think it should be equal. I don't think they should have make it equal. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Not no hater or nothing, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and play another video because that woman and her idea about what dating is very similar to this other woman, and it is weird because they'll say that they are not in a relationship. The young lady we just watched, she said, "Well, hey, I haven't been in a relationship in 11 years," but then she said she was dating guys, but she would date them exclusively. She'll have somebody she's dating exclusively, not talking to anybody else. And I'm like, that sounds like a freaking relationship. All right. Let me get this. It. Now this next woman, she just has a weird way that she dates, and I'm gonna play this video because I'm not doing anything. And I'm actually waiting on somebody anyway. So I was gonna hop off after that video, but I might as well play this other one. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
What's your name?
My name is Jamie,
Jamie, where you calling me from, boo?
Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Yes.
How old are you?
I have to be honest. I really am looking for a friend, not like a man.
Well, you know this ain't the friend show.
It's not the friend show. You gotta be
Yeah.
I believe in you have to be friends before you get into a
Right, but
relationship.
what is the goal? Is the goal to be friends? You're gonna have sex with them one day, or are you just trying to meet a friend that you kick it with?
I'm trying to meet a friend that turns out to be something long standing and forever. A forever friend. Or actually that could lead into marriage or a partnership.
Are y'all gonna be having sex while you're friends?
No.
How long you want to be friends for?
I'm sorry.
How long do you want to be friends for?
It depends on the person. Like it depends on where their commitment is, like where their mindset is.
So could he have sex with other people?
No.
Then what kind of friendship is this? You don't want to. It's not a friendship. Then you want to be in something that you get to know because he's your friend. You don't want to have sex with him. You don't want him to have sex with nobody else. You don't know what you want to call this girl. You confusing us.
Well, let me tell you what kind of friends I'm looking for. I'm looking for friends that love themselves and are empowered and believe and just like they have the same mindset as me, which is basically you respect yourself enough not to be having sex. So, with everybody and
Okay,
just
can he
giving
date
yourself
other
away.
people?
Huh?
Could he date other people?
No.
So you
No.
want to, okay, so he's your friend. So basically, he's your friend. He's not your man. So you want to say, we're friends first. You don't want to have sex with him. That's fine. You don't want him to have sex with nobody else. And you don't want him to date nobody else. So why are you, this is not a friendship, honey. Your friend can do whatever they want to do. You want a person that you can get to
Mm-mm.
know.
Girl, I disagree. I disagree, girl, because first of all, if someone was looking for me, I'm available. I'm not linked in, with anyone. I'm not tied to anyone. And you could be
But
my,
that's you. But 9 times I'm about to get to know what you want more. But let me find out what you want more before I say this. But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna describe a man that got a lot of use, like got a lot of options of women who. Well, let me figure out what you want. Do you gotta look a certain way?
I would like for him to take care of himself and have good hygiene.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
He has to have at least $1 and a dream. He can't like not be ambitious,
Make a
just sit
dollar
on
a
the couch
year?
and not.
You
Because I
talking
can
in
do
circles. You
well.
gotta talk direct with me. How much money he gotta make?
No, I'm telling you. It's not a. It's to me like I want somebody that at least has a dream. Like because I'm a multiplier, right? And I'm able to, help you get to where you need to be in life. But
This grown woman is talking like a girl in high school. Oh, we be friends, and we be friends because you got to be friends first, and all you need is $1 and a dream, and
if you just sitting on the couch and you're not thinking or dreaming about anything, if you don't have any ambitions, then you already done. You already over with.
So I'm sorry, your name is Jamie?
I'm sorry,
What's your name, honey?
Jamie.
Jamie. Okay, and where are you calling us from? Tennessee?
Yes,
Okay, how old are you?
36.
36. Do you have any kids?
No,
No kids. What's your zodiac sign?
Gemini. But I
Gemini.
don't believe
Oh,
in,
you're all over the place. It's two people I'm talking to. Gemini.
Well, I don't really believe in that, but I do tend to have different, personalities. I don't believe in zodiac signs, but I do have like I go through different moods, and it's you get a different me. I'm so nervous, Kendra. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well let's keep going. Don't be nervous. What do you do for a living, Jamie?
I'm an independent contractor, and anything basically I can do to get some money. So I have done a lot of things in life, different kind of things. But as of right now, I'm an independent contractor and an aspiring entrepreneur. Actually, my family has a business. Do you mind if I tell everybody to follow the page?
Yes, I do mind. That's not why you're here. You're here
Okay.
to find your friend.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Jamie, Tennessee, 36. No
if you notice, a lot of them must got all the time in the world because they all got a million jobs.
kids, Gemini, independent entrepreneur. Um, So
And I'm sorry, it's almost as if they're reading off of a script because they all say the exact same thing. I do a lot of things. I do multiple things. I just every hour of the day, I'm just working. I'm just doing a million things. They all say the same exact thing, which to me is weird because, and I'm not saying that this woman necessarily said it, but a lot of them say, hey, they want focus, they want a guy with a career, they want a guy that's established, but they seem to be all over the place. Very rarely do you hear somebody that just says, hey, I have this, this is my career, this is what I'm building. This one is always I do this thing and then I do like a million other little things. Which anybody that knows if you have a career, you very rarely have time to even do a lot of these other things. I'm starting to feel like they all just maybe got a bunch of part-time jobs.
what kind of men are you looking for, honey?
I want somebody that when I look into their eyes, I can see the truth. I don't want, to feel like someone's lying to me. I want somebody to be, absolute. Like I want them to imitate power and honesty. I want them to have control of the room wherever they go. Be gentle and kind and apologetic. I need somebody who, like I said, is a ambitious, friendly, because I'm looking for somebody I can laugh with for the rest of my life.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Wanting to have sex, like, and just like not respecting, like, don't get me wrong, okay? Like, I enjoy enjoying each other, but you're not about to just spring it on me and be disrespectful and I can't, like, that's all you want to talk about. Another deal breaker is like you don't have a good relationship with women, like your mother, you disrespect your mother. Um uh Let me see. Someone who doesn't know how to compliment or help a woman feel comfortable in her own skin. Someone who doesn't have any friends and nobody likes them.
So you want a popular man?
Not really popular, no, heck no, because I don't want him running around like we said before. Like I don't want him having all type of friends, but I at least want him to have a good name. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Um, okay. So should he look a certain way?
He should have good hygiene and keep yourself, like, confidence is the look for me. So like if he doesn't necessarily have it physically, his spirit will be attractive to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And money, you don't have a, so he can make $20,000 and have a dream, and that's fine with you?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest, Kendra, I do want a rich man, but I was just letting you
Well, no,
know.
well, don't, well, how about no, honey? Jamie, you would be honest. I'm asking you the questions. You the one over here giving me nursery rhyme answers, a dollar and a dream child. We grown folks. I asked
Well,
you
hold
how
on
much
with the
money you
nursery
got to
rhyme
me.
because I'm nervous, Kendra. I can't
Well,
help it. You
okay,
a big star.
but
I've seen
listen,
you everywhere. You on
nervous, but
TV.
listen, Jamie, honey, and I'll be honest. I'm gonna tell y'all this is a TikTok show. It took me a whole 2 hours to figure out how to make the screen split. So my patience
I
probably
was here
isn't
with
as
you.
long, and it's late as hell. So I'm
And
gonna
I,
apologize. I'm gonna apologize, but at the same time, Jamie, I don't got time for these little kid games. I asked you, do he got to make a certain amount of money? You said a dollar and a dream. I said I raised your dollar to $20,000, and then now you say you want somebody rich. Tell me what you want, girl. You gotta make a
I,
certain amount of money.
I like somebody with some money, girl. I mean, I like somebody that can take care of me and my family and promote the dreams that I have. But all I'm saying is I serve a big God. And so I can take a vision and turn it into, I told you I'm an entrepreneur.
That's why I said, okay, but Jamie, I said, with that being
All right, so I'm not the only one that thinks it. Dig Thug says, I don't care what anyone says. I spoke to foreign women and women in the States. The women in the States sound so weird when you think about it, just very strange comments, etc. Yeah, they do. She's all over the place. I think a lot of them, and I was going to save this for the end. I think a lot of them don't know what they want. They don't know what to look for, and they really don't know what what to find in a man that would show them that he is a good man. And this is why, and I've said this before, that we should not allow women to dictate relationships, what they are, what they should look like, what a good man is, right? Because they just come up with anything. This woman has said how she wants to date is the guy is a friend because you gotta be a friend first. You gotta build a friendship first. So you'll just be a friend. Now, mind you, while you her friend, you're not her man, but you must be committed to her. You can't talk to anybody else, get anybody else's number. You can't flirt with nobody. You can't do anything. But you're in the friend zone, but you must operate as a boyfriend should. This is what she's come up with for dating. The woman that we watched before this, she says there is no relationship, but you will be dating exclusively. It would just be y'all two. Now, what they're describing are relationships, but they're calling it something else. Just weird. And they all do it. They all have their version of what they think a relationship is. And you know what the problem with that is? This is why they never really get a serious relationship. This is why they don't get the ring. This is why they don't get married. The man will let you know if it is a relationship. He'll tell you, he'll talk with you, he'll express it, he'll communicate it, and he'll show it with his actions. As long as the woman is dictating if it's a relationship or not, usually it's not really a real relationship. And usually it doesn't grow to be anything else. Women have to fall back, realize you don't know anything. Let the man dictate the relationship. That way, you know if your time is being wasted or not. But as long as they keep creating this, like this little friend thing she's creating, it ain't gonna do nothing but get her played. That dude gonna be like, man, I'm never cheating on a woman ever again because the woman I'm with, we just friends. So how can I cheat on a friend? We ain't in a relationship. She calls it a friendship. It's silly. She's setting herself up to be played, and she don't even realize it.
Said, would you date a man that made 20K and had a dream?
Absolutely.
Okay. So date a man that has 20K and a dream. Let's do the Kendra cam. That's when you stand up and we see your full body.
Kendra, you guys to hold on. Let me get myself. Hold on now. Hold on, okay? Oh God. I don't even know how I'm gonna set you up. Can you see?
So we got to see your legs.
Why you gotta see my legs? Did you see?
Okay, we gonna live with it. So if you just tuned in, this is Jamie, Tennessee, independent contractor, 36, no kids, Gemini. She's looking for a friend, but in this friendship that you have with her, you can't date nobody else. You only can date her. Don't expect sex because you guys are just friends. Um, I don't get this. I'm all for. Listen, I'm all for. I'm all for not having sex unless you're in a relationship. But I feel like these rules from the beginning. This is where women miss out. Like, don't give if you're not exclusive, then you shouldn't give anybody exclusively your time. Now, I'm not saying having sex. So let's be clear. But if until a man locks you down and says we're in a relationship, you should take coffee breaks. You shouldn't be like he's not your man. So why do you have to control if he talks to somebody else or even has sex with somebody else? And those are things that you're willingly saying you don't want to do, and you just get to meet this man.
Well, everybody has their own opinion. I was just raised by a grandmother who, she was part of the church, and she has a very respected name worldwide, everywhere. And I want that. I want to do the same thing she did, which was maintain my respect and my integrity, lay down my boundaries and my laws. And there is people out there that'll follow behind it.
Okay, so have you dated them?
I've seen a few people that are okay.
No,
So
I said, have you dated these people?
yeah, there was a white guy that I dated that was, down with everything that I'm saying and everything. I was young then, and so it
How
just
young were you?
huh?
How young were you?
Um, if my memory serves me correctly, I dated him around 23.
You were 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 13 years since you found a man to date you in this way?
I haven't been in a relationship since 2018. So it's
So again, I'm just asking you quick questions. So it's been so in the last 13 years, you haven't been able to find a man to date you in the way you just said?
No, I'm not saying that. You asked me if I've dated
No,
one. Yeah.
I'm asking you clear. Let's be clear. I'm asking you, have you found?
I've seen a lot of brothers. I've seen a lot of brothers, yes.
No,
But
no, I didn't say seen. I'm asking you, have you dated a man that was willing to follow these rules that you have? I'm just asking.
absolutely. But
So
does
what
that mean
happened
that
with?
I'm just gonna go for like? Does that mean that I have?
Okay, we're asking questions. I'm just trying to
Okay.
get to the root. So you dated men who were willing to just be friends, not talk to anybody else, and not have sex during your friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
That were
happened? What happened with those men?
people that were serious about what they want and willing to, take the chance to give a little bit of time to investigate what's going on and what's behind these desires, right? Or I found people like that. What happened? Okay, so with John, I dated. I told you I was really young, right? The other guys, they all up in church doing their thing and everything. You got like you can't really, you can't really express.
No, listen, Jamie. I want you brought up one person. You don't got to tell me names because you keep the names to yourself. I'm just asking. You said John, and you said John was.
You can see why she's single. Look how hard it is to communicate with her. It's a very simple question, and she just can't answer it. She's struggling to comprehend it and answer it.
Nobody know who John is.
Okay, that's fine. You said John, and that was when you were 23 years old. You're now 36. I'm asking you, when was the last time you had a dynamic like this of a man that was willing to only talk to you in friendship, not have sex with anybody else, nor date anybody else as he was talking to you? You said that you've had that. So who else have you had that with in the last 13 years?
Okay, so now we digging, right? We like real live digging. Like I'm trying to figure out. I mean, because I can tell you, I got somebody, and I don't have the I don't have to name drop it, as you could say. I could give you the exact. I could express. I mean, I could tell you who that person was, right? But the thing about it is, I feel like it's not really. It's leading up to me being wrong about the fact that there's people in this world that have the same.
First of all, you're using words right or wrong. I'm asking information. So I'm just asking you about your life experience. So let's be clear. You're adding the words right or wrong. I'm asking you clear questions about your life experience.
But
you're the one that's hesitating on just giving me answers. And
I'm not. I gave you an answer, but now we digging.
Hold on, but real quick, because I'm trying to understand your point of view. You told me John, when you were 23, was willing to be your friend, talk to you and only you, not talk to nobody else, nor have sex with anybody else. I'm just asking you, have you ever dated another man that also was willing to agree to those rules?
Oh, no. John was like, I haven't dated anyone since 2018, and he wasn't like John. And John was, when I was 23. So no, I haven't dated, and I answered that before.
No, you told me that there were men, because here's the deal. I want to say this, and I want to be clear. I don't think women, if you want a relationship, right? If you want a relationship, you shouldn't have sex until you're in a relationship. But when you're dating, you're dating. And this is where women use dating at times, and they make it a relationship. And 9 times out of the 10, as you get to date more, you're starting to learn, okay, can I be with this woman exclusively? Can I be with this person exclusively? But some men may still be taking coffee dates, or probably was dating a woman when they met you. Doesn't mean that they won't get there. So you said at the beginning you wanted a friend who doesn't talk to other women, nor has sex with other women, and doesn't want to have sex with you either. And you want him to be ambitious and a lot of things. So I was just asking from your own experience if you ever dated a guy like that. And I think the answer is no, other than John when you were 23.
Oh yeah, that's correct. But have I seen? But then you also asked me, have I came encounter
No,
with
you said have you? I never asked you about seeing
at
it because
church? The question, the
no,
answer is,
you
I
brought
seen a
that up.
whole
You
lot
said,
of them.
hold on, real quick. I want to be clear. You said you've seen it. Dating is not one size fit all. Dating is very a unique experience for every individual. Every black woman doesn't date the same. Every white woman doesn't date the same. So you bringing up other people, that was you saying you see it, and that could be true. But I was asking about your particular experience because that's what matters, and we got to learn that. You got to learn what your dating experience is because you can watch people from the sideline all day, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get that same dating experience. So I was just completely asking about your dating experience.
Well, it's only because I don't jump off the porch like that. I believe that coming on here was like my first attempt to try to see where they at, and then involve myself. Other than that, like I told you, I seen them in church, but I'm not getting ready to step to nobody in church. I'm there to serve the Lord. I'm there to worship the Lord. So I don't step off the porch. It's been since
Well, once I
2018. So
got, well, okay, you did it for the Lord, but don't church events got church events? Y'all have, I mean, the churches I go to, they always have events. So when you're there, you can't talk. And I mean, listen, you definitely should meet a man in
what you
church.
be doing at church, Kendra?
Well, okay, well,
What you doing at the
well,
events?
let's be real now. I don't got time again. I told you I live in the real world. When you gonna meet that then? I mean, you want to meet him in the club? The man in the club ain't gonna have these type of dealings. So I know y'all believe in Jesus, but Jesus and men are not the same. And I think some people in church gotta learn this. A man is a man and Jesus is Jesus. And faith without works is dead for all my church people. Now I know you got God on your side, but now you also have to understand that a man is not Jesus. And if you want a man, you gotta learn about men. And what
Yeah, because she talking straight goofy. Like when church is done, people stand around and talk out in the parking lot. A lot of people meet their significant other in church. And if you have such a strict way that you want to date, a strict way that you want to date, and you're saying you recognize that other men in your church feel similar to how you feel, then you should be talking to those guys. You should be in the parking lot after church when people just talking about their day, blah, 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 whatever, church events, whatever. That's where you should be meeting them at because they're right there. So it's like you're praying to God, like, God, please send me this man. And God is like, what are you talking about? You see him every Sunday. You just won't talk to him. Nobody's telling you to why to pray and worshiping, or when the pastor says everybody bow your head, close your eyes, and you sneaking on. Psst, psst, hey, hey, psst, psst, psst. Come on, man. Like, what is she talking about? She's very immature and she don't know how to communicate. She's silly.
what you're saying is you want a celibate man that's going to be your friend, ain't going to talk to no other girls just while y'all in the friendship, child. So you better go to a church picnic and be cute in your church outfit and be getting to know these church men if you want you somebody.
So let me ask you a question. Is what do they classify thirsty women as? Because you telling me that when I go out there and I put myself on the market, I should be like, yo, this is what's happening. You get everything you want as long as you say you my boyfriend. When we say
you're not hearing me at all. You're not hearing me at all. That's what you got from it. First of all, I said, don't have sex until you're in a relationship, right? You might even have a marriage thing. So
that's what I'm saying. So as soon as we say we in a relationship, then I have to give him some nookie.
listen, you can't. Overall, what I'm saying is you were having a lot of restrictions for a man that's just your friend, and I felt like that to me for a man is unrealistic. If you're just friends, then you're just friends. He can still date other people. He can still get to know other people because you're just friends. You're not even his girlfriend. So why is that going to bother you that he is still figuring out and doing things when you are just a friend? That's what I'm really trying to get
No,
you
no,
to
no.
understand.
I get it, and I agree with you here. I shouldn't put stipulations on men. If I don't have any intentions, if I shouldn't like try to test them like a sample and then contract them into my endeavor. I shouldn't have a contract just because you want to be my friend, right? If that makes sense. So basically, I'm looking for a person with if I can think it, somebody else can think it too. And that's just what I'm looking for. Somebody that respects herself well enough to say, I'm gonna give you the time to figure you out, and I'm gonna be focused on you, but I'm not gonna sign you.
I now understand why men say I need a woman to get on my program. 'Cause I used to say, oh, it's kind of harsh you saying that. She's a human too. But now I realize why they say it. Because they programs, the women program, it don't make no damn sense at all. She don't make no sense at all. It's like it's so simple. Why doesn't she get it? Look, if you are going to have a stipulation that says, well, hey, no sex, right? I don't want to feel like I have to give you sex. That guy should be able to say, well, hey, I don't feel like I want to just be only with you. If you're saying we're just friends and we're not in a relationship, I would like the freedom to date other people. Because you're saying we're just friends. We're not having sex, not doing any of the other stuff. You have all these rules. I mean, that's all Kendra is saying. What you're saying sounds weird. You want a lot from a guy that is only your friend and he doesn't get anything.
You up for no type of contract because we are friends, but I want to see if we can get along. I want to see what you do, in your lifestyle. I just want to see what's going on.
Okay, now I agree with this. So are you saying now while he's getting to know you, you're fine with him having other female friends that he's also getting to know?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I shouldn't do that, but I'm standing on business. Like there's people like me out here in this world, but I understand that I understand, that if it does happen, I ain't gonna have no fit or whatever, and be like, oh, matter of fact, what you do is already what you did is just condition my heart for to be prepared. Like if it happens, that's the way that people think, and I guess I'm an alien or something. But it ain't gonna be a surprise because Kendra already told me that's how people is.
Well, no, let me say this. Let's get deeper to it. There's some men out there that may have your ideology, but they also don't have options, right? So there's usually the men y'all don't really want. You can find a man that's not going to talk to somebody else, not going to want to date nobody else, but he probably doesn't even have more options.
That's so sad.
Well, it's the reality. I need to have real talk conversations with people. So the kind of guy that you describe got a lot of women, more than likely, if this is a sensational man that people want. So he has to therefore, want to be with you in that way. I'm not saying it's impossible. So I want to get that across. But I just feel like to have that, you're literally having an exclusivity restrictions on a guy who's not even your boyfriend. Like you went on record saying, I just want a friend. But my friend includes you can't talk to nobody else, can't have sex with nobody else, and you only got to get to know me. But we're only friends.
Let me rephrase that. You can do whatever you want to do. I would like for you to respect yourself and take time to figure out what you want. Do what you want to do. Let me see what's up.
How about here's the real play. Be too busy in your life to know what he's doing when he's not with you until he's your man. He ain't your man. So first of all, you're not gonna know what he's doing because you're busy in your life, or you might be on a coffee date, or you might be doing something else. So you don't have to give him restrictions because you are living your own life. And he's gonna have to know if he really wants to lock you down, he's gonna lock you down before somebody else does. So you don't gotta give nobody restrictions. You can lay out what you desire, what you want to be, and go about your life. Don't be focusing on him, focus on you. But let's continue. So when was your last relationship, Jamie?
All right. So I didn't have a relationship. All right. I broke my celibacy accidentally 2 months ago.
How long was you celibate for?
Huh?
I said, how long was you celibate for?
That's not necessary, but I'm just letting you know that I had a situation just on an accident. I thought, that once we like start feeling each other, and if we accidentally do that, then it's forever. That's the reason why there's no more sex, because if you slip up and I'm thinking it's forever.
Now it makes sense. She full of crap. I accidentally broke my celibacy 2 months ago. Well, how long was you celibate? Now, if she was truly celibate, she would have just said, I was celibate for 2, 3 years, and I broke my celibacy for a guy, and it ended up not being serious, and so therefore there's no more sex on the table. But the reason she says, Kendra G says, "Well, hey, how long was you celibate for?" She goes, "Oh, well, that's it's not because she never really was celibate." And when women have a problem having sex with guys too soon, they create rules to protect themselves. Dig Thug says, accidentally? Exactly. Accidentally. She accidentally did it. She tripped, she fell, and she landed on it. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Now what she's saying makes sense. All her rules and things, there's rules to design her because of the way she communicates, and she comes off a little bit slow. I think a lot of guys manipulate her. And so she's created these rules to protect herself. I understand and I get it now. Now it makes sense to me.
And I'm telling all my business,
How you
but
think it's forever if you're not married?
because like I said, if we having relationship and we locked in, like if I'm
Did
giving
he
you
agree
that,
to that?
he did say, he did mention it, and he did ask me for a ring, but I was like, he did ask me for a ring.
He asked you for a ring?
He asked me, did I, want the ring? He said, I will go buy you a ring. He said that for like weeks.
So why didn't you just lock down with this guy then?
Well, I just didn't really. It happened so fast that I didn't really get comfortable with the person he was. I didn't really. I wasn't too in love. My spirit wasn't with it. Like his character, everything else was cool. That's why I said the physical will mess you up because you'll keep on. You'll stay in something but then I found out he was like real life crazy.
How long did you know him before you slipped up?
7, 8 months.
So in 7, 8 months, y'all didn't do anything, and you didn't know he was crazy in 7 and 8 months?
We work together. We ain't on that type of time. Like when I kicked it with like we work together, it's high and by. Ha ha ha. It's funny, on the
So
lunch.
you started with him, he wasn't even, y'all wasn't dating then. It just something happened one night.
Well, we got breakfast. We got breakfast one day.
That's a question. Did y'all date for 7, 8 months, or did you just know
No,
him? Okay,
no.
so it was a guy that you knew, but y'all wasn't dating, and then y'all slipped up and things happened.
I didn't even like him like that or nothing like that. I wasn't even attracted. He's cute. Don't get me wrong.
People have to be careful the words they use. Just because you see somebody at work and you say hi and bye, she said they would see each other at work. It was hi and bye. How the hell you know that person? You don't know who that person is. But you knew him for 7 months? No, you didn't. You just worked with some guy, hi and bye. He pulled the girl at the job and was able to sleep with her. That's what happened.
Wrong. I wasn't attracted to him, but he kept coming at me. I was just like, whatever.
So after you slept with him, you wanted to marry him because you guys had sex?
I didn't want to marry him. I told you he wanted to give me the ring.
You just told me that you were told that once you slept with a person, that's supposed to be a forever thing. That's what
Exactly. But like I said, I didn't get to know. Listen, his character wasn't like. That's what I'm saying. We can't do that because that will get you twisted up. Listen. If the next person, I'm so sorry, the next person that I'm gonna give myself to, because it's it will blind you and it will make you blinded to all the things that comes with the person, right? So that's why I don't. Because
after you slept with him, you wanted to marry him because you guys had sex?
How did the sex blind her from who he really is when she said she never liked him in the first place? She wasn't attracted to him anyway. She's not making any sense.
I didn't want to marry him. I told you he wanted to give me the ring.
You just told me that you were told that once you slept with a person, that's supposed to be a forever thing. That's what
exactly. But like I said, I didn't get to know. Listen, his character wasn't like. That's what I'm saying. We can't do that because that will get you twisted up. listen. If the next person, I'm so sorry, the next person that I'm gonna give myself to, because it will blind you and it will make you blinded to all the things that comes with the person, right? So that's why I don't, because I missed it. Like we went to breakfast, something happened. Next thing I know, we 2 or 3 weeks into a crazy relationship, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is wonderful. It's just because we did the double ring thing, but that's not what it was at all. He was actually really my spirit didn't agree with it. I'm like, dang. So we locked in like this. I mean, the stuff is really good, right? It's really freaking great, like probably the best I've ever had in my life. But you're really sick in the head, and that don't like we can't. It's wrong for you to lock me in. You know.
I told you she's making these rules to protect herself. She was hypnotized by the D, and she's trying to shake the symptoms.
Spiritually doing that thing when your mind isn't right, and I didn't know that about you. So no, I need to know first. That's why we got to be friends, and that's why that can't happen first. See what I'm saying?
Let me pause it because this Wi-Fi is acting silly anyway. Dig Thug says, why do they place such demands on the next guy if they give it up so freely to someone who puts in less effort? Also, all of these women gave it up in high school to a guy who didn't own much. You know what, bro? I was thinking the same thing, the exact same thing. This, and mind you, this is a guy she said she didn't even like that when she seen him at the job. She was not impressed. This dude took her for breakfast. Guaranteed you it's probably McDonald's, right? And he got this. And so now every guy after him has to follow these strict rules of we're not in a relationship. This is just a friendship. But you can't talk to nobody else. You can't get to know nobody else. Can't date nobody else. Nothing up under a friendship. And it's weird. It's unfair. It's kind of like, I want people to imagine this way. Imagine you go to get a job and your boss is just strict on you. I mean, just a straight butthole to you because of the person before you who had your position. You wouldn't think it was fair.
So okay, just so now, do you want to be celibate until your wedding night?
Listen, like marriage to me doesn't require a piece of paper or anything like that. Marriage to me is we have an agreement, right? So celibate to my wedding night, that could be any time during the relationship when we agree that we, are for each other, and that this is something that you want to do for life. Does that make sense?
No.
Yes, it does.
Nothing you say makes sense. I'm be honest.
Yes, it freaking does. Somebody is understanding it.
I think even Jesus confused himself, child. Jesus and
he speaks through me.
But even Jesus said he.
This is why I said you can't let the women dictate what relationships are. You can't let them dictate what a man is, what protection looks like, what provision looks like. You cannot give them that power because they'll hurt themselves. She's setting herself up for failure. A guy could easily say, oh, yeah, I want you forever. Man, you got some cold-blooded dudes out here. They will tell you anything. The rules and what relationships are have already been dictated, and they were placed there to protect you. So a man, through his actions, will show you. So when he goes down there and he gives you gets a ring, and he gets down on one knee and he gets that piece of paper, that is designed to protect you. But oh no, in her little fake world, we don't need a paper. It's just whenever we have that conversation and he says, yeah, I can do this forever. How do you know if he can really do it forever? It's just nothing in place, just you and him talking in the bedroom, I would assume, having this conversation, and you just give him the goods. It's not real, it's fake. This is why you don't let them dictate what a relationship is. Her plan is so flawed and she don't get it. She ain't gonna do nothing but hurt herself. All the dude's gonna do is lie, get the sex, disappear.
Confused. We confused, girl.
Because he probably don't want me talking about the only thing that Jesus is confused about is why is you telling these people your business, and that's why he don't.
You want to call me? I just came on live on TikTok. You called us, so that ain't on me. I ain't call you. You call me.
But you digging though. We supposed to be
I'm
like
asking questions that a person that is sane would ask. So I'm only digging because you call me, because I can't allow you to tell things that does not make sense to me. So I have to ask you questions to get clarity, and hopefully you'll watch this back and maybe see how you had us all confused, honey.
How am I gonna watch it back? How do I watch this back? I would like to do that.
I mean, I don't know. This is my first time on TikTok. If I'm able to save it, I will. I'm learning TikTok. But
please do save it and send it to me.
But I don't think what you're calling digging, I call questions for clarity, because I'm trying to understand.
So you don't think there's any boundaries as to like what we should put out to?
I think there's a lot of boundaries. I already told you shouldn't have sex with a man if you're not in a relationship.
No. I'm talking about as far as the interview, like what class of, like, as far as like digging in an interview.
Jamie, I'm digging because you weren't making sense, honey. You were saying things that did not make sense. So I had to ask you more questions so I could try to understand.
I think it makes perfect sense.
Huh?
I think it makes perfect sense. What I'm
Don't
saying.
make no sense.
It makes sense to me. I need to find, okay, I guess I need to find somebody who don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, if that's your take, I don't think I can help you, to be honest. I think you have your mind set up, and that's fine because it's your life, right? And you have to live it. All I was saying is, do you really want to be with a man in this lifetime, or is Jesus enough for you?
Oh, Jesus is definitely enough, but I'm not there right now as to where I could just be like, I'm gonna be a nun or nothing. He's definitely fulfilling, but I'm not physically grown in the part. I haven't killed my flesh enough to say I want to be a nun. No, Jesus is more than enough. I'm just not at that position where I want to physically be a nun.
I think that, listen, I don't challenge anybody with religion because I know that is, and nor do I need to, right? But I think a common thing that I hear a lot from just people who are very religious, they think that Jesus drops men from the sky. And like, because they got Jesus and because they got their faith, Jesus gonna make it happen. Well, again, this is why I tell y'all to learn the line, faith without works is dead. And you can have faith, but you got to do your part. And more so, men are not Jesus. So if you want Jesus, then you can have that. But if you want a man, then church people or religious people, whoever you are, you got to start learning men, because Jesus and men ain't the same. And that's just the thing. And we can move on. We'll move on.
Wait, let me say one thing. Okay. So that's the reason why I feel like people should read their Bible a little bit more, because all the women that I know were very proactive in seeking their man. Like Bathsheba, she got on top of the roof and took that bath butt naked. You got Abigail, she came, had her husband killed so that David could come look for her. You got Tamar, she dressed up as a prostitute. Now these women is very active, and people need to read their Bible a little bit more. And that's just, I'd be glad.
What the hell is she? What the hell is she talking about? She said earlier that she sees, because Kendra was asking her, do she meet men that think the way that she think as far as abstaining from sex? And she said, well, she see those guys at church. Kendra G says, well, hey, if you see those guys at church, then you should approach them guys at church. She made a comment about things like that, like, that might be being thirsty, because when you're at church, you're supposed to be, praise and worship. But then Kendra G was like, well, hey, they have church events. And then, like I said, hey, After church is over and done, you've praised, worshiped, said prayers, heard the word, you out in the parking lot, you can meet somebody and go approach them and be proactive. And she was totally against that. And now she's talking about people need to read their Bible because women in the Bible was proactive, and Bathsheba got up on the roof apparently and was naked up there. She just doesn't realize how insane she sounds. She'll say one thing and then later on in the same conversation give a whole nother answer, a whole nother explanation. She just talking, she defeats her own arguments.
I will say this to that. It felt like you didn't agree with that because I was telling you, since you had church events, you should meet people at the church picnic to find a
Exactly.
like-minded individual. And you said, well, I don't need to meet a man because I'm there for the Lord. And I'm like, well, don't y'all have pie? I don't know. Like, church has all types of events. And if you want a man in that mindset, you need to be thinking about the single men in that environment that hopefully believe the things that you believe.
Absolutely, but I'm not going. It's a time and a place for everything, right? And you were right, but we don't have no church events and everything. I'm not definitely not getting ready to go thinking about no man when I'm going to get this bread for my soul. Because God drops $1 million dreams, visions while I'm in church, everything. I'm not doing that while I'm in service. I'm not doing that. I'm never going to do it.
Okay, they want me to move forward with you. When was your last relationship, Jamie?
2018.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I think you already did. Last time you were intimate was 2 months ago. Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Listening and talking.
Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
And I had one more though. I think I need to work on because you said 3. Yes. You want me to do 3 or are you gonna cut me short?
Go ahead. You can answer the third one, honey.
The third flaw would be like knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. Like I probably should have been gone a long time ago. Like, but I like to bask in the obvious and fight.
Okay, fair enough. Now here's the last question. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because I am a friend. And that means more than just the word friend. It means that you have a partner, somebody that looks out for you, right or wrong. Because I love money and I'm always going to be a entrepreneur. I'm always going to chase the dream and provide and let him provide if he feels the need, but we're never going to be lacking financially. And because I love to communicate and I'm very, I guess, willing to compromise.
Oh my God. Say it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just because I'm just an all around nice, a good person. I'm beautiful. I'm funny. When I'm not nervous, a really beautiful person comes out. I love to travel. Like I said, I love money, and I love multiplying and making people better.
Okay. What is the age range you would date, Jamie? You're 36.
Probably 28 to 40.
40. Do you want kids one day?
Yes.
Does the guy have kids already?
Nope.
Okay, so a man with no kids.
Not unless the baby mama's dead.
If the baby mama's dead, she could date you. Why is that a rule?
Well, because you have to understand that we come like in the order of the way that I feel like a household should be ran is the man, the wife, the kids. And I can't be coming into a relationship where somebody's like, oh, my daughter got to go to the basketball game, whatever, man, I ain't got time to mess with you. And I got stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, wait a minute. You can't even, we're not getting ready to go through all these situations and you're not getting ready to separate me like a different entity. Then, we are one. And the order is, I come first and I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna handle the kids. If I don't have a dog in the fight, if I can't make sure that I'm at the basketball game before you are, no, because it's just not gonna work.
But I thought you said you don't want it, you don't have to get married. That would be a rule if you were gonna be a wife. You said earlier that it's not important for you to become a wife.
No, I never said that ever, ever. I said marriage is not a piece of paper. Kendra, you on one, and I'm gonna pray
Okay,
for you.
okay, explain
I'm
to me.
finna pray for you, fam.
Okay, what's
I'm
going
about
on
to
with
pray for
Jamie?
you.
I need to understand. So
I understand. I understand. No disrespect. I'm not, but I see where you coming from, Kendra. Though you
can I
keep
ask you this
going.
question? I'm seriously asking this question. So you do want to get married?
With the understanding of what marriage means to me, yes.
Okay, so that means, what does marriage mean to you? You have to enlighten me.
We agree on we could do life together forever. We're a partnership. We agree that we are for each other.
Okay,
It doesn't have to be a piece of paper.
okay, so this is where I get confused because you're saying it doesn't take a piece of paper. So to me, that means you're not legally married. Is that not what that means?
Yeah, I'm not married.
Right. No, I know you're not married right now. I'm saying that because again, I'm trying to understand, girl.
Oh no, you're not legally married. Not legally married. No, we
Because what
can.
happened is you said that marriage doesn't require a piece of paper for you, right?
Mhm.
So are you saying that you could be committed with a person with no that to me means you don't need a pastor, that you two just agree it's not an official marriage, right?
It's before God. I would like to. It's before God. So like, I have a relationship with God. So I'm the pastor in my relationship. But no, it's not gonna be like that. I'm actually gonna have somebody, have a witness. I'll have a witness, and I would like to do it the traditional way, like the Americans or whatever, like you said. But I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be a contract with paper. It doesn't have to be like that.
So then it's just a committed relationship. It wouldn't be a marriage.
That's what I'm saying.
I brought that up because you said you wanted to be treated as a wife. So how are you gonna be treated as a wife if you don't get officially married?
Because you think I need to go. Okay. You remember when
Mhm. Yo, what's up? Chris said a black woman is not going to be there for another black woman, only a man. At this point, this is all drama. Yeah, it is drama. I think Kendra G just don't understand her. I don't even understand her and what she's saying. She says she's saying so many things. The way she does her relationship, and I think Kendra G, her point is this: is that sometimes I think she hears women say things and she just doesn't believe that they can accomplish those things, and so she tries to kind of like correct them while doing the interview, but maybe sometimes she could just let them say what they got to say and not care enough to correct them, right? So with the woman saying, "Well, hey, you know what? I want to have this thing and I want to call it a friendship," instead of just saying, "Hey, a lot of guys might not go for that." She could just say, "All right, whatever, girl," and just go on to the next question, instead of prying so much. I think the girl, she's getting irritated because Kendra's like saying, like, "Hey, I don't understand." Yo, what's up? Seven Deadly Sins says, before church, people married each other at their homes. That's her point. Oh, okay, that's what you think she means. She could mean that. She could. But I guess she's not doing a good job explaining it. Um, she said that she didn't want the piece of paper though. Like, she for her marriage isn't that they just two make an agreement to be there, for each other for life. For me personally, um, because she said that she doesn't want to necessarily talk to any guys at the church or meet the guy in church. She's and here's the danger. This is my thing, is that she's getting on this dating show that's online on the internet with all these different people. And Seven Deadly Sins comes back. He says, right, no paperwork, just trust. I think that if you're insulated, right, you're doing this at a church with people that you know, or it's more likely that they share your beliefs. I think something like that you could trust that you could work. I think that's a dangerous thing to do when you're getting online where random people on the internet can see you and take advantage of you. I think that's a dangerous thing to put out there like that, because people can lie, people can go along with whatever you think it is, and that you can set yourself up to be played. And I think that she's coming from a church background into a worldly dating show, expecting worldly people to understand her perspective. And she may have a better experience, maybe finding a Christian based, Bible based dating, because she's getting on a worldly thing. This is the internet. This is Kendra G. The chats be going crazy, be going wild. It's women that have come back on the show and have told their stories about men they met on the internet. And these guys don't care. I heard some of these guys, like when they what's that? Christians date is a dating app for Christians. I've heard stories that it's guys that don't believe in God at all that be getting on there to take advantage of these women. So I just think she need to be careful getting on a dating show like this. Seven Deadly Sins said, yes, very true. I agree. Yeah, and that's all I'm saying, because I believe in God, and I was raised in the church, so I can understand some of what she's saying, but I'm putting myself in the mind frame of, hey, this is the internet. I know what the Kendra dating show is all about, and I just don't think what she's saying um fits this world at all. I think she should take advantage of the church that she goes to. I think she needs to take advantage of that and not be reaching out over the internet with her views.
I told you my 3 flaws was knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. This is not something that it's not. So, you I'm gonna respectfully
I know I should have did it a long time ago. I know I should have did it a long time. I actually wanted to keep engaging because I'm gonna figure out a way to save this live, and I just let people hear themselves. You know, TikTok. If this is what y'all been begging, I have been. So many cousins have been asking me to come to TikTok. You know, I have the dating app coming out soon.
Yep. And there you have it. That is the end of that's the end of that. But see, and like with Kendra G saying, okay, well, because she has the dating app um out right now. That man, them dating apps, that is where the predators prey on the prey. That is no place for somebody like her. And just listening to that young lady talk, she's 36 years old. She comes off a little bit naive, and I just think she's gonna be taken advantage of with the things she was saying. I I think her bringing that to the internet, it I don't think it's gonna go well at all. I really, really, really don't. Anywho, I did 2 videos. If you just came in, if you came in at the end after this, you can always go back to the beginning and replay. The first woman we looked at was what the title is about, which is this black woman is ambitious, no broke man. She has 3 jobs. I did her because she said she has 3 jobs. I thought it was funny that she said that she's in tech, making a lot of money, and she owns a apartment building, multiple Airbnbs. And guess what else she is? A waitress. I just did not think that went together. I went to the chat and I showed proof that I wasn't the only one that thought this was funny. There's a lot of other people in the chat dragging her about that. They thought it was funny as well. And I didn't want to end it too soon, so I played the video with this young lady. She don't seem like a bad person. You know, in my show, I call it risky behavior because I don't call people good or bad. I just think sometimes we behave, me included, as humans. Sometimes the behavior our behavior is just risky. We're not bad people. We're not evil people. We still deserve, know, which I don't like the word deserve necessarily, but we still all want love and happiness and peace. We want success. We want to see we want to succeed and the people around us to succeed. But sometimes our behavior is risky. And the woman we just watched, very much risky behavior, being on the internet. I'm glad Seven Deadly Sins said what he said because it made me think of that other thing is that if you are a person believing in God, Christian in the church, dating shows like this may be the wrong place for you because you're bringing your Christian beliefs into a worldly thinking atmosphere and people will play you, man. Let me tell you how real it is. I remember I used to work for a company and I don't work there anymore. I was like, you know what, I just got to work for myself, but I stopped working there. But anyway, so we were delivery drivers. I know a guy at that job met a woman while he was there working. Now, I don't know why she believed him, but he had on well, you know what? He was one of those drivers that never wore his uniform. He was able to convince that woman that he didn't just drive that truck. He owned the truck, owned his own company, and he had other trucks that was delivering the area. He was just an employee. I know another guy, scumbag. He uses the fact that he knows that Bible really well, and I think at one point in time, he was training to be a pastor. So he would approach women on Facebook, tell him he's a pastor, act like he want to preach the word to him, pray over them and stuff. He's a pastor and everything. He is not a pastor, and he uses it to get women. You got men that lie and say they pastors to get women. And I'm telling you, that woman we just watched, she seemed like an innocent soul. She do not say, I didn't get no negative energy from her at all. I just felt like she's naive. I don't think she should be on that show. Let's see. Seven Deadly Sins says, do you think dating apps are a bad thing compared to meeting people face to face, like the old school days post COVID? Also, I have subs, so I'll see you on your next show. Blesses, King, peace. Oh man, I appreciate that sub, man. Thank you so very much for that. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Do I think dating apps are a bad thing compared to meeting face to face? I think face to face is way better than dating apps. I don't think dating apps are necessarily bad. I think they're good for people who are busy. It depends on your life that you live. Um, I I I think it's better when you have dating apps that you have to pay for. Um, because people, if it's a free dating app, I think usually those are trash. But if it's an app that costs some money that people really have to invest in and pay to be there, I think it kind of weeds out people that are just playing games because guys that's just playing games, usually people are not going to spend that money on that. I think that if you are going to use dating apps, you definitely need to be a person that's knowledgeable on how to vet people, um, keeping yourself safe, knowing who you should meet up with, not meet up with, so it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I don't think it can ever compare face to face. Face to face is more, it can be more just organic, meeting somebody. Have you ever met somebody like just in a store or just, out running errands and you're sitting around talking to this person and you look down and you're just like, wait a minute, I've been talking to you like 45 minutes. I got somewhere I gotta go, somewhere I gotta be. And so I think that it can never compare to meeting somebody face to face. When you especially when you're talking to somebody on the internet, they got like 30 minutes to respond to you. It's different when you look at somebody in their eye, talking to them face to face. You can read and you can see their body language. They don't got 30 minutes. They got to be, quick on their toes and come up with their responses. They don't have time to think of their lie. a person on the internet, on the other side of a screen, they got forever to respond to you and come up with something and everything like that, right? They can always sound intelligent. But when you're standing with somebody face to face and y'all talking about something, and you know how the conversation just flows, you get a really, really good idea of their intelligence and what they're into just by their responses. And they're not able to look it up on the spot. You're looking at them. They don't have their phone out or anything. And so you get an idea of who they are. I think is a better thing when you're reading somebody. Um, it can be, um, and then on dating, with the filters, um, people people can be anybody they want to be on the internet or on a dating app. They can type anything in their profile. They can take a picture next to any car or pick out their best outfit and stuff. When you meet somebody face to face and you see them out, you don't see them in entirety who they are, but you definitely, get a good picture of them, You might meet somebody out with their uniform on or their work clothes on or something. They're working, they got a job. I just think you get a better feel of somebody. But I understand, people say they're too busy and that's why they use dating apps and stuff. But I don't think dating apps have to be necessarily bad. 7 days since we're on the same page, bro. Yeah, man. I think too. You know what? I still remember that feeling when you gotta approach somebody in person. I still remember that. It's different, man, when you see somebody and you gotta approach them, that nervousness. Um, it's not like you won money or anything or you got the job promotion, but you feel accomplished. Especially with a guy. With a guy, it's a big deal, man. When you see somebody you like them, you approach them, you're nervous, but you still do it. And then that person is like, oh, yeah, you can have my number. Yeah, you can take me out. And you walk away feeling good. The internet, because I've experienced both worlds. When you grow up, if you're born in the 80s, you experience the time of where cell phones don't look how they look. Internet is dial up. If I remember going off to do college, and I mean a desktop computer filled up the back seat, two people to move it. You know, um, I remember one of the things, if you was a young man, you made sure when you walked out the house, you had a piece of paper in your pocket and a pencil or a pen because you need to write down somebody's phone number. I remember that. It was no sliding in the DMs or nothing like that. It was more personal. And so you had to know how to talk to a woman, how to approach a woman, how to treat a woman, and everything. I just don't think the internet you have to do any of that. You just find, and then here's the thing: when you meeting people in person, you have to be what you say you are every day because you meet them face to face. On the internet, you just copy and paste whatever you want to say you are. You just copy and paste. Everybody gets the same picture. That one image of yourself gains you access to however many women see that picture or see that image that you put out there. But you got to think about it every day when you leave the house. You don't leave the house with the same image every day. You don't feel the same way every day. You're not in the same mood every day. You don't have the same haircut every day. But on the internet, whatever that profile picture you put up, that's who you are every day. Everybody comes in and gets to meet that same person. So yeah, it can never compare. It can never compare. And you know what? You would think it would be easier for the guys coming up in this day and age, but it's not, right? Because if you think about those of us that we say, I like that 7 days since right, everyone on a shelf on display. Yep, exactly. And these guys, I know they say we live in a social media world, right? And they said, and I heard somebody say one day it's funny because we're not as social. And you would think it was easy because the guys that grew up without the internet and Instagram and everything, we we look at these guys like, man, you got it easy. When you walk out your door, you don't see thousands and thousands of women a day, but y'all actually date on the internet. And so you have access to all these people. But they got the access, but they don't have the skill set. We didn't have the access they have, but because of how we had to approach and talk to each other, we had the skill set. We just didn't have the access. They got the access, but it's not easier for them than us because they just don't have the skill set. Even for the women, women that grew up in a time where man approached them know how to read a man. They know how to tell everything they need to. They got the skills. And you have the women that didn't grow up like that. They don't have the skill set to read through those guys. They just know guys are flooding their comments and flooding them. And that's too, and now that I'm thinking about it with the whole internet and the dating thing, that's why people have this delusion. They think they got access to everybody. They just think, oh, you know, because they've been programmed through internet likes and hearts and double taps and the views that show at the bottom of a video in the comment section. They think those are all their people. And so I think dating apps don't have to be bad, but they can be bad. And I did watch an interview with it's a lady. She runs one of them top she works with one of those top dates. I want to say it was eHarmony, but I know she said actually through through her studies and the things she's seen and just her working with people, she's realized that a lot of men, because of social media, is a lot of men don't know how to talk to women anymore because of that screen and being on the internet. They really don't. And so you have a lot of, she said she is a lot of guys, I mean, successful guys that make good money and everything are actually paying to be coached on how to approach and how to talk to women. So that's the only thing I can think of. Let me see. Yeah, that's about all I can think of, man. I know I rambled, I went down a rant, but that really, when you brought that up, that when you Seven Deadly Sins, when you asked me that, do I think dating apps are a bad thing compared to meeting face to face? When I really, really think of, I do think the internet hurt us. It really did. These smartphones and everything. I remember growing up, we used to remember everybody's phone number. Now we don't. You know, I think we hurt ourselves. I think we hurt ourselves. I don't think men and women know how to communicate or approach each other the same way. Even now, with women saying they hate being approached by men, it, it's funny. They definitely would have hated it before, because I think a lot of men don't even approach women like they used to. You made good points. I agree too, man. I appreciate your question. I really, really do. But I was saying, I think a lot of women would have been mad if they grew up in a time without the Instagram. They would have been approached even way more. They say they approached a lot now and they hate it. Oh, I'm tired of guys approaching and catcalling and stuff. But they really, really would have hated it before, because I've been out and I was out with my wife one time, and we went to this spot. They had like like everybody now like the hookah spots. And I don't know if I'm getting old too, because now when you go to some of these places like that you think just restaurants, they got loud music playing. But you'll see a bunch of women just in there and no guys approaching them at all. They're not even approaching them. I remember going out when I was younger. back before all this just crazy Instagram stuff, you always seen people mixing and mingling and stuff. And it's like now you see people out, everybody's just staring at their phone. The man ain't approaching the women. I'm like, and it's kind of weird to me because you'll see a guy harass a woman at the gas pump, but you go out to a nice spot, a restaurant, you got music, you got hookah, and they're not even approaching them at all. They're all separated, like they're not allowed to talk to each other, and it's weird to me. 7 Day Descendant said, "Nope, I don't. I think more women have more fun now because of the internet. So I try to pick smart and carefully." Say, I think women have more fun. Okay. Why you think they have more fun? Is it because you think it's maybe because of the attention they get? You think they have more fun because of that? I think women rule on the internet anyway. I think a lot of women. I think that a lot of I think women take the most advantage of the internet, especially Instagram and stuff, when it comes to making money, pushing products and stuff like that, because it's easier for women. Especially you talking about like a pretty woman. It's easy for them to get attention and capitalize on that. What'd you say? You say yes? Okay, yeah, yeah. They do. They get a lot. They get to have that feeling, like I said, of having access, opportunity, getting attention. If they have things that they're trying to sell, it's easier for them to capitalize on the internet. The internet would be their world. You say. Also, it's easy for men to prey on women. Yep. And that's where they do it. They do. They do because they can be anybody. They can be anybody. They can just post a picture and they can be that man. And a lot of them can be the man on the internet um that the women want. Versus before it, you actually had to be that guy. Now, don't get that, but I'm not gonna lie though. It was guys pre-internet that could lie and put up a front. They go out, spend their money, whatever clothes, whatever car, but they had no money in the bank. But I just think the internet took that to times 10. Times 10. And so you say, I think it's a bad thing, and I have always said that men ain't men no more. They not. Ah, they not man no more because of it. I I don't think men are men. You know what? I've thought that, and for a lot of reasons, when men got on the internet and admitted that women would not give them access, or like when they had like the men going their own way, or when they said they didn't want women no more and stuff, that's when I kind of thought like there was a shift, there was a change. Because men, well, me growing up, I don't think they used to say that, and stuff like that. We say weak, less work to win. Yeah, these guys, I think they did that on purpose. I think social media has trained them for that. I once heard somebody say that like when it comes to social media, it actually makes people more insecure because when you get on the internet and people are posting these fake lives, sometimes you can feel like everybody else has something that you don't have. And that's kind of what the internet does to people. It's kind of like it's kind of like in high school, right? I always say high school would have been easier if all of us would have admitted that our parents were having a hard time and not put so much stress on them, right? It's kind of like we all would beg our parents for the best clothes, for the new shoes, just to come to school to impress each other. When what we should have did was just all of us be honest, like, look, my parents ain't rich, your parents ain't rich. Let's just chill out. Let's just wear uniforms. You know what I'm saying? Be the same. And that's kind of like what the internet is doing. Everybody's uploading this fake image to impress each other, trying to keep up with each other. What do you say? You say yes, they did to determine them, defeminize. What you say? Oh, you say yes. Yeah. But what I was saying, I think they did it on purpose because if you notice, we have a rise of life coaches and stuff like that. And so I think it's designed to be like that, where man ain't man no more. That's why like I know like Fresh and Fit podcast sells courses and apparently they make a lot of money. I guess like they're gonna show man how to be real man again. So, I think that's why things are the way they are. I think there's a market for that. Everybody's a life coach now. Everybody's selling courses to tell you how to be a better person. Um, tell you, show, hey, if you're a man, you can't get women. I'm gonna show you how to get women, show you how to talk to women and approach them and things like that. That's what they're gonna do. But yeah, I don't think if you're comparing men to how it used to be before the social media and all this stuff, I I don't think it'll ever be that way again at all. In order for it to go back to that, we would have to destroy all this stuff, the internet, everything. It would have to go away. But but what man used to be, it just can't be. But I understand and I get it. Like if I think about like my granddad and the man before him compared to them, we kind of weak, compared to them. you know, uh and so you say he said, agree, it would take 10 years plus to fix it. It would, because we would have to retrain ourselves. We would have to retrain ourselves to get that skill set back to be able to approach and talk to each other because we've been getting to know um I say each other through a screen. And then the person that you're getting to know through a screen is just a fake image. You don't even know if they're real or not. You don't know. And I think people get more I think it's just gonna get worse, to be honest with you. Cause I mean they got a whole what people call it, the gender war. When I was growing up, I would never ever think there would be something like a gender war. And I make these videos and I comment and I laugh at things, maybe because I don't understand it and I'm trying to. I don't get it. I don't think life has to be that hard. I don't think you should look at people as like people always talking about settle, settle, settle. I don't want to settle. I don't want you ain't never gonna get nobody that's perfect. You ain't never gonna get everything that you want. Um, I would hope that people would just kind of pick people based off character, shared beliefs, compatibility. And I understand money is important, but because you definitely want to be with somebody that is financially stable, but I don't think that's necessarily a hard thing to find, right? most most people are working hard. They are, if you're a hard worker, you have to know that you're not the only person. You're not the only person that's doing this, but I don't know. Maybe people just more materialistic and stuff like that, and that's what I'm hearing. I don't know. Let's see. Seven Deadly Sin says we are all on a board game and we are all being played with. I hope God's people wake up soon. I'm lonely waiting. I think something I'm trying to think what we was talking about yesterday. What I was thinking about. Oh, I know. We was on Clubhouse, right? And we were having a discussion. And I mean, we were debating, going back and forth. Everybody was, because there was a video that was placed on, I think it originally came out on Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook. And it was a young lady. She recorded herself and she put it out on the internet that she's married. Well, she was married. And she says that her husband lost his job. So he lost his job. 30 days went by and he still hadn't found the job. At the end of that 30 days, you know, she came to him about, paying the bills and stuff like that. And so he told her, he said, well, hey, I lost my job. I need you to cover this month's bills. And she said, well, hey, if I cover this month's bills, are you going to pay me back the money? He says, well, hey, you my wife. Like, why should I? We live together. I've always paid the bills. I'm your husband. She didn't like that. She got mad. So she says that they both have a friend. It's a guy and it's a mutual friend of theirs. She's always hung out with him and everything. She says that, she ends up going to talk to this friend, basically vent. One thing leads to another. And she says she ends up sleeping with this friend. She says this friend, she's thinking about, maybe being with him. She said, this guy got it going on. He, got money. He even gave her some money to help cover some of their bills, right? The internet blows up, right? People calling her a 304, talking crap about her and everything. She gets mad and everything. Seven Deadly Sin says, damn. That's what everybody said. Damn. Now I'm going to go back to your original comment and why I love what you just said. Then she puts out other videos saying that now the family is attacking her, calling her, a 304 and everything. And I apologize if it's come through a little blurry. This Wi-Fi is acting stupid. So she says she gets back on the internet, makes another video saying, hey, her ex-husband, her soon-to-be ex-husband, who she's divorcing because he lost his job. She says the family's calling her 304. His family's attacking her. She's trying to defend herself. She's saying, look, when he met me, I told him that my money is my money and his money is my money. And so he knew what he was getting into. Now, people are taking everything she's saying and they're arguing about it. You got the women saying, look, you man supposed to provide and protect. She told him this is what she wanted. He did not honor the agreement as her husband. Then you got the man arguing back with the women saying, well, so you mean to tell me a man can't depend on his wife if he should fall on hard times? They married. Come on, it's safe for better or worse, rich or poor, right? Now, guess what, Seven Deadly Sins? You said we are all on a board game and we are all being played with. It turns out that what everybody was arguing about was fake. This black woman makes content and she puts it out like it's real, but it's fake. And she puts it out and she trolls people to get them to argue about things like this. And it's fake. A lot of this stuff is fake. It is. Look, it made you laugh, huh? Right? Because you can picture people arguing, going back and forth, and it's somebody sitting back just enjoying the show. Just enjoying the show. Even some of these podcasts do it. They'll pretend like, oh, we had a fan send us a letter, and they'll just read it. You don't know if it's real or not. But I can tell you one thing. This is why a lot of times I do like reacting to the Kendra G show, because she's so busy, she ain't got time to set nothing up. And she just has people randomly call in, say, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. And you get some organic, just good conversations like the two ones we just watched tonight. You get some good conversations out of it. And that's why a lot of times I just do the Kendra G show. Some of these other shows and stuff is fake, and they just want to push the gender war. They got an agenda. Some of the stuff is just fake. It's just made up. They just tell you it's real, and they get you to argue about it, and you just be arguing about something that really didn't happen. If you let half of these people tell you um all black men are doing bad and all black women are doing bad, if you listen to what they say. So yeah, we all are on a on a board game. You said first, can I say so before here? You said first, can I say um if he made her that promise that he was going to handle everything plus extras, that's on him. A man should stick to his word, not lie, because that lie will come back to him. Yep. He said now I'm thinking he was talking game to her to get her. You talking about in the hypothetical scenario with the husband, the fake story that I told you, that one? I don't know. You know what? If something like that was real, I think any guy signing up for that would not take that so literal though, right? Because if you like say you get married, right? Mhm. Like say you get married and you say, okay, I'm gonna be the provider, the main provider. You know what that means, and you agree to it, but you don't think that you don't get any grace. You just say, hey, I'll pay all the bills. I'm gonna be the main provider. Oh yeah, I know what you meant. You said I'm a big believer in karma. Yeah, I know what you meant. But you don't think that if you lose your job, your wife gonna leave you. You know what I mean? Because things happen. It's the same way if you got sick, if you got injured, if you had to have surgery, you would think, but I do understand some people say that as a man, you might lose your job, but you should. Part of that responsibility is making sure that the bills are paid up. So I it's an argument against that as well. But I do think that people do expect, right? Just like if you're a woman and you agree to certain wifely duties, but you would hope that your husband would extend grace if something that should happen that would take away you know, from you doing that. So that's the only thing about scenarios like that. But I think all that can be avoided with communication before the relationship. Ask follow-up questions is what I'm saying. So if a woman would say to you, hey, my money is my money and your money is my money and you got to pay all the bills, you should have some follow-up questions and be like, you should have some follow-up questions. Say, hey, when you say that, is there any grace that'll be given to me? Should I lose my job? If the market causes my business to go down or whatever like that. So a lot of people don't communicate. You'd be surprised how much people don't communicate. I've seen people that have argued because they done dated, been boyfriend and girlfriend, got married. A couple of years go by. And then one of them says, hey, I want to have a kid. And then the other one goes, I don't want children. It is like you didn't talk about that when y'all first met. That's kind of like one of the first things you would think somebody would talk about. But you mean to tell me you didn't talk to that person about that? Seriously? How you didn't know the person you married didn't want kids? How? How? Right, 7. Right. How? You would think that's impossible to happen, but it happens. And I'm not talking about when somebody, marries somebody and then years go by and the person changes their mind and says, hey, I want to have kids. And the person says, look, I told you I never want to have no kids. Yeah, I know, but I changed my mind. I understand that. I'm talking about people that just didn't have no idea. It's like you did not ask that person. And they just go like, look, I assumed, but you can't assume nothing because everybody likes to run their marriage differently. And so you got to ask all those things, man. Hey, how do you feel about children? Hey, what's your idea of finances? Um, Religiously, what you believe, and education, right? Because that's important, especially when you plan on having children with somebody. Um, like the young lady we was watching, it seems like it was the second one we watched. So the last video we watched with the young woman, right? She says she's in church and she has some spiritual belief, religious beliefs, right? It would be very important to have a conversation surrounding that because if you have children with that person, what are y'all going to teach them when it comes to religion or spirituality? And you can't just dismiss that by saying, "Hey, we both go to church or we both believe in the Bible," because depending on what church they go to, not all Christians are the same. Some people believe in speaking in tongues, some people don't. Some people have a big focus uh, when it comes to prayer. Some people don't, and so that's a part of communicate with somebody in the beginning. I remember being a young boy. Well, I don't really remember it like that. My mom remembers it. And my mom said um we was visiting churches because my mom wanted to find another church home because we had moved. And she said I was little and she went to the big people's church. She took me to the kids, the youth church. And she said when we was leaving church, walking back out to the car, she says, she asked me, well, how did you like the service? And she says, I said, I don't want to come back here no more. And she says, why? And I was like, they don't pray. And that's because I used to love to pray. That was my favorite part. Right. And so even when it comes to beliefs and church and things, man, the conversations you got to have in the beginning of these relationships to get a full understanding is very, very, very important. If you are a person where education is important, you might think it's not a big conversation you need to have, but when them kids come home and you're taking the homework and projects seriously, getting them ready for college seriously, and your partner doesn't take it as seriously as you, that can cause some issues in the relationship. And I say all that to say this, that communication is important. Like the story I shared was fake, but it does happen all the time. I have a friend of mine, and we were actually talking about this story, and he's the one that told me. He said, "Well, it doesn't matter if this story is fake. Why? Because his friend got a divorce. Why? Because he lost his job because of COVID, and his wife left him. But maybe he didn't have the conversation he should have had about finances. And hey, if something happens and I lose my job, are you gonna have grace on me, or are you just gonna up and leave me? Some people will up and leave you. Some people, you get handicapped, you get sick, they will leave you. They're not going to stick around. Some people are dead serious when they say, if you cannot fulfill your husbandly duties or your wifely duties, I am out the door. They do not care. They will be gone. They will leave you. They don't believe in that for sickness, for health, for richer, for poor. They don't. They'll leave you. They walk right out on you. And that's how it is, man. So people gotta learn to communicate better, talk to each other better, and and I think people also they I think some people should also take classes about like relationships, especially marriage and what it is. And I think it needs to be defined. I think one of the issues is we live in a world now where everybody, like, it's like people take words and they make them mean whatever they want them to mean. And I understand you want your life to be catered to who you are, and you got the right to live your life however you want. But I think people are too loose with what they think relationships are. And so it's kind of like, how could anybody prepare to be in a relationship or be married if it's not clearly defined of what it is? Because in some cases, I don't think everybody need to be married. I don't even think everybody need to have children or to be parents. I think we're just taught this thing, but we don't have a full understanding of why we need to do this thing. Like me, I know I'm married because, hey, I'm like, look, you want to have children? Children need structure. And I think the best structure is within a marriage. Now, that marriage could be by a piece of paper or it can be by an agreement, a covenant. There's certain other avenues to spending your life with somebody at this point. Even if you get a house, you can do a quick claims deed. So if you pass away, it's easier for the person to get the home. So there's other avenues for spending your life with somebody. With the young lady, and I know Seven pointed that out to me, is that, hey, everybody don't believe in getting this piece of paper. And I understand that and I agree, to that. So it's so many things, but I just think relationships, marriage, things like that, it needs to be clearly defined. And I think because that way you know what you're looking for. And once you know and something is clearly defined and you know what you're looking for, it'll make it easier for you to find somebody that you are compatible with in that relationship. Because how do you know if you and that person are compatible in a situation if the situation is not clearly defined and you don't know what to expect? If I know the situation is I'm gonna be out in the woods and we're gonna have to make a fire. I know I need to have somebody that know how to survive in the woods and make a fire. But if I don't know that I'm gonna be in the woods and have to know how to make a fire, I don't know to pick somebody that knows how to make a fire. And so people don't know what to expect in a relationship or a marriage that's not clearly defined because it could be anything, whatever somebody made up. How could you ever prepare for to find somebody that's compatible with you? Let's see. Seven said, right, things didn't work out for me. LOL. I'm about to go drop my son back to his mom. So I'll catch you later. Peace. All right, man. I appreciate you, man, for stepping by, bro, man. I appreciate the conversation and stuff. And you know what? And I've been there too. And know what's crazy though about that? After after my situation with my oldest child mom, I messed up the first time because I didn't know what to expect. But it got it got easier after that for me because after, the things that I went through, I knew what to expect. And so it was kind of easier for me to navigate. Um navigate that situation after I experienced it. But that's why I think that if you can have a way where you can educate yourself before you, because a lot of us, we learn off of the experience. So we have to go through it. We bump our head, and then we go, oh, okay, now I know. And then it becomes easier for us to navigate. But I think if there was a way that people could navigate first, and I think that's the importance too of just family and having that structure because your children get that clearly defined structure in front of them and they can learn from that. And I think that makes it easier for them. But yeah, man. Whew, I think I've been going on for a while. I was supposed to have made me something to eat, but the conversation got so good, I couldn't help myself. I just had to keep talking. I really, really did. This was fun. You know what? I thought I was just gonna come on here, watch these two videos, get a laugh, and I, you know, I didn't know. But man, for those of you who've been staying in here with me, man, and listening to me run my mouth, I really, really do appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you all. I love getting on here and reacting to videos and talking to people. To me, it's very therapeutic. Um, hey, if you liked it, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification button, thumbs up the video, share it with somebody if you want. Um, don't worry, I don't ask nobody for no money or no cash app or nothing like that ever. I just do it because I actually like doing this. It's not my main thing I do. It's just my hobby. I used to record music and stuff. I wouldn't even let nobody listen to my songs or anything like that. I would just record music. And so now I just record this. I still record me a song from time to time, but I just never put it out. I just do things like this. It's just therapeutic for me to talk and get my ideas and thoughts out. And one thing I like about doing reaction videos and talking on the internet is because when I was growing up, you just had TV. And if you saw something on TV, you would just yell at the TV and it went nowhere. You know, you was forced to see things that you liked or didn't like, and you couldn't say nothing about it. But because of things like reaction videos, YouTube, internet, these webcams and microphones, we can now see things on TV that we don't like, that we disagree with, and we can speak out and say something about it. And so um it's giving just regular people a voice. It's kind of like, like when you watch news on TV and you see a crazy story, you can't say nothing about it because it's just on the TV. But if it's on YouTube, you can say something. You can put the story out. You can make people aware of it. Like usually, every week I still might record one. I might do a pre-recorded live stream, but usually, like every weekend, I do a news story, and I just call it diabolical, and it just be some crazy news story or something like that, and I just share it because I am also a fan of true crime. That's like I watch a lot of podcasts with true crime and stuff like that, horror stories, crime stories, true stories, documentaries. I like watching all that stuff. And so every week I usually just put out like some crazy story. Like last week I did the woman that put her baby in the microwave. Um, she got in an argument with the person who's supposed to be the father of the child, but they were up drinking, got drunk, got in an argument. I think they both were accusing each other of cheating. He was telling her he didn't believe that the baby was his. He walked out, left. She got so upset. She took the baby was only 28 days old and put it in the microwave. So I did that one. I did I think the week before. I think the week before I did which one did I do the week before? I can tell you, I got it right here. I did one on this young lady. Her and her brother was racing cars, and I think they was going over 114 miles per hour. There was a young man and a young lady. So the girl and her brother, they racing down the street. Down the street is a young man with a young lady. They might have been boyfriend and girlfriend. They were young. They were making a left-handed turn right on that same road. Now, when they made the left-hand turn, I guess they could not see those two cars racing down the road. And I know they didn't see those two cars racing down the road. They were going so fast that when that young man made that left-hand turn, those two cars, that brother and sister that was racing, was going so fast, they cleared 3 football fields. So when they was making the left-hand turn, the point where that brother and sister were at the time when they begun that left-hand turn, they were 3 football fields away. And they still couldn't clear them. They hit the car so hard it split in half. Looked like it was cut in half with a saw. But it was a car hitting it so hard it split it, it killed them. And they passed away. So I did that one. Before that, I did honor killings, and basically, in some of these other cultures or countries or traditions, a honor killing is basically if you do something that dishonors your family in order to gain honor back, somebody in your family kill you to restore honor to the family. Before that, I did Michelle Blair. She's a woman. She killed 2 of her children, put their body in the deep freezer, and kept it there for about 3 years in the living room. She had 4 children, killed 2 of them. The other 2 kids had to walk past their brother and sister in that freezer every day. I did one on the Zuluks. They were 2 men LGBTQ activists. They adopted 2 young boys, and they were abusing them and attempting to um they were attempting to pimp them out actually and sell footage of them. I did another one. Um it was a it was a it was a father. He had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend killed his daughter. He had just recently gotten custody of her because the young lady's mom, she got sick. She had I think she had cancer, and she passed away and stuff. So that story was really sad because you had a young girl lost her mom, went to live with her dad, and her dad allowed the girlfriend to abuse her and kill her. So that that was messed up, man. That was sad, man. But yeah, I be doing those too. Let's see. What's up, S. Johnson? You said, what's this fool rambling about? Man, I'm about to end this video, man. I've been talking about a bunch of stuff, man. I'm done. I was done. I was pretty much telling everybody goodbye, and then I was just talking about what I be doing and the stories that I usually do every week and put out. That's what I was talking about. You came in at the end. You funny. I was rambling, man. Hey, I'm tired. I know I sound like I was rambling, man. I don't get mad when nobody tell the truth. I know I sound like I was rambling. Hey, you woke me up. I need I was rambling. I was telling people what I was doing, and I was appreciating people for coming through and watching the video. I was just telling everybody, I just be on here watching videos, running my mouth. This is just what I do for fun, and that I appreciate them because I don't ask for no money, no cash app, nothing like that. I'm just strictly on here to have fun. So I was just appreciating people taking time out their day to look at me because you're right. I'll be rambling sometimes. Oh man. Cause I'm about to end this one. I at least been on here. How long? Yeah, man, I've been on here 2 hours, 30 minutes, man. That's a lot of running my mouth. That's a lot of running my mouth, man. I'm about to go make me something to eat, man. I gotta eat. I'm hungry and I'm famished. That's probably why I'm rambling. So man, but yeah, man, I appreciate you that, Justin. Cause look, if you didn't say that and make me laugh, and look at my internet, it's starting to run slow. If you didn't say that and make me laugh, I probably would have fell asleep in front of all these people. I appreciate your insight. Have a great night, man. You too, man. I'm glad you came. Ah, if he did not say that and make me laugh, I promise I would have fell asleep. I did that one time. I fell asleep right here at my desk. Thank God I had hit the end stream. I woke up in a panic because I said, "Oh my God, I've been sleeping on camera." I was just like this, but I had ended the live stream. I ended it and I just didn't move and I just went to sleep because I'll hang out all night and just watch TV, snack and eat and everything until I fall asleep. That's just what I do. And so if I'm on here and I'm doing it, I'll just do it till I fall asleep sometimes and stuff. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna end on a good note. I appreciate you all. I'm about to get out of here. This risky behavior. I'll see y'all next time. Risky out.
Risky behavior.